This is Elliot. The ability to sin and to say that we love the Most High God in this world and in this body of flesh is such a crazy concept. And it's not to be understated and neglected, this whole thing. Because the importance of being able to walk in these last days and really win and thrive in our uh, spiritual walk and our ability to love the Most High, we have to make sure that we don't get to the point where we just take sin and the ability that we have to sin for granted. Always relying on grace, always relying on mercy and forgiveness. See, the reason why sin has been brought up in the scriptures so much is because it's a serious thing. And I think the unfortunate part of it is that all of us are capable of it. Um, yeah, all of us. So, what does that put us in terms of trying to really walk and move with the Most High in the way that we do? Well, I think that a video like this is why, or the reason why I'm making this is just a stark reminder of how much we need to be able to keep in our mind and in our sights, walking holy and righteous to the best of our ability, but not just putting it to the point where it's saying, yeah, I love the Most High and I'm going to do the best I can, but are you really trying to work things out? See, working out your salvation, when the Bible talks about working out your salvation, the church teaches that once saved, always saved. You say a little couple things and you're done. For some people, that was their start, okay? But it continually requires work. W-O-R-K. And you don't work by doing nothing. You work by doing something. Work requires exertion, okay? So how many times are we really trying to work out our salvation in terms of eliminating sin and overcoming sin in our life? It's not a question that I'm asking anybody in particular. It's just a question that I throw out there and I ask myself as well. What are you doing? Now, the Bible describes sin as the transgression of the law. It says that if you love the Most High, that you will keep His commandments. And both of those scriptures can be found really in 1 John. You'll find from 3 to 4 to 5, you'll find that. And then also in John chapter 14, you'll find that as well. And to understand that really sinning is to break the laws of the Most High is an amazing concept itself. So that's why grace is important. That's why mercy is important, because of course there's a lot of laws that to get down to the law. Now this isn't trying to get somebody to say, oh no, I have to follow every law to the T. No, this isn't that. What I'm really going to focus in on is the things that we know better. Some things that we don't know better. There's some laws that aren't applicable to us in this land, in the land that we currently occupy. Some laws are for men, some laws are for women. However, just to be, using common sense and being blunt, how about those things that we know better about? How about those things that when you do, you feel icky and you know that you've opened the door to the presence of darkness and demons, but yet you still confess with your mouth that you love the Most High? See, Paul wrote about this when he talked about being trapped in this wretched body of flesh. And, one of the things I think about often is that scripture. It's like how much to be in this world and have this pull, have your flesh pulling you in all these different directions, but knowing good and well that you strive to live and want to be with the Most High God for eternity. that you want to enter into his kingdom and sing his praises. I tell you, it's something else. So I say to you, what are we doing to work this out? If there is a sin that you know that's in your life that you continue to stumble and fall and succumb to, what are you doing? What is the work that you're putting in? The Bible talks about that some things only come out through prayer and through fasting. And that scripture is also taken out in a lot of different versions, but you'll find it in the King James Version. What are you doing? What's the work that you're putting in? What is the work that I'm putting in? And it's the reason why I'm making this video today, because I realize that it's such a crazy concept to really have the ability to still operate in darkness, but yet still profess your love for the Most High in this realm. See, I look forward to the time, the appropriate time, when we're free from the confines of this flesh and the pull of this flesh to do what it wants to do, but to be free in the spirit to do what the Most High would want us to do. And that time's coming, but in the meantime, we're stuck in this fleshly body, and we have to fight it just as much as we fight all the other darkness that comes at us as well. And it's going to take a concentrated effort. That's really my main point for this. It's time to really put sin in the trash, throw it away. And that requires a step, an action step of literally focusing in on whatever the things are, and saying, you know, praying to the Most High, fasting if you need to, and really taking a point. You know, I know there's times in my life when I quote unquote stumble and fall or backslide and do things that the Most High would not approve of. How much fight do I really put into that? I've asked myself, did I fight myself? Did I fight? Did I stop? Did I say, no, I'm fighting this flesh. I will not do it. Satan, get behind me. Do you do the same? That's called putting in work. The unfortunate part is that it is what it is. We are striving to be perfect like our Father in heaven is perfect, right? And that is going to require us to do what we need to do, to fill ourselves with the word of the Most High, to be able to speak against, using that same word, to speak against all Satan and his demons as they come against us. See, there's access that we have, that Satan has and demons have into our life, not just because of the transgressions that we've made, but the transgressions that our previous generations have made. And so, you know, dealing with the whole bloodline curses and all that stuff too, it's just a mess. I mean, it's tough out here. But it's something that needs to be talked about, because, you know, just getting this knowledge of our identity, understanding what needs to be done in order for us to get prepared for the kingdom, but just taking sin and the ability to sin lightly is an injustice to people if they're not taught correctly about how important it is to overcome. And I myself, as I've gone through my walk through all these years, I think about sin, and I know that the more and more that I grow and develop my relationship with the Spirit, the conviction of the Spirit comes against me, and I don't want to do some of the things that I've done before. But at times of weakness, or times where you know that the darkness and opposition is coming upon you, and you fall into sin, or you just walk straight into it, and then you walk back out to do it again, is just something that's going to have to stop. See, time is running out. Time is running out. And I'll say it one more time. Time is running out. I'm noticing, as I can see things in the spirit, that so many people are aware, even those people who aren't aware, that time is running out. Especially those people who, that when the time runs out, they're going to have major judgment to pay. And I can see it in their faces. I can see it in their actions. And then I also see those people who are totally given over to the dark side, who are celebrating and having so much time, how much fun during this time, and doing the most because they're just demons in the flesh running around like Joker and his minions in these last days. But to those people who are called, chosen, and set apart, like I always say, this is our time to really get things right and to put in the work necessary to overcome our transgressions, to overcome sin in our life, habitual sin, things that we know better, the things that can. I remember times of just living in a sin that I would do over and over again, and just how disgusting you would feel, how separated from the Most High and His Spirit that you would feel afterwards, even if it was mental or not. It's still a feeling that you know that you did something that made you feel something that's not cool, right? That the Most High would approve of. So, to each their own. And I say that because everybody has different things that they deal with. Everybody has different curses that they might be trying to fight. Everybody may have opened different doors to Satan, certain addictions that need to be broken, strongholds. And I'm talking about stronghold. When the word talks about a stronghold, that means it literally has a strong hold on you. And if you're not strong enough to fight it off, then the hold remains upon you. And so to fight, it's going to take work. You're going to have to pray. You're going to have to fast. You're going to have to resist. Like I said, when things come upon you and try to get you to do stuff, when you feel the presence of darkness or idle time, and you know that you enter in or go somewhere or talk to someone or do something or steal something or say something that is inappropriate and it transgresses the laws of the Most High, sin, are you pushing back? Are you immediately repenting and asking for forgiveness to make sure that you don't continually do it and just stay in that cycle for a period of time until the fact that you've opened up so much access to the dark realm that they literally have control of you and can take you way further than you wanted to go? I'm going to try to remember this phrase. It says, sin will take you further than you wanted to go. It'll make you do more than you wanted to do, and it'll keep you there longer than you wanted to stay. Something like that. And that's the truth. Because sometimes people start with a small foot in the door of sin, and then it opens up a whole can of worms that you're trying to fight off. This isn't a message that, I mean, it is a message, right? How many people talk about it? I'm sure people do, but I'm trying to be real with you today and talking about how important it is to not just take sin as just something that just happens because we're subject to the flesh and we're in this realm where sin is so present. Because we will be held accountable. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem fair, but what is fair, right? We've been given a high calling. And to whom much is given, much is required. So let's do our best to work things out in the best way we can. And I say this because I think a lot of times when messages are being put out there, when the word is being preached, that people can take it and it could just hit them right, hit them in the ear, but go right past their ear. But does it take root? Okay. I'm trying to get things to take root in your spirit, that we can become more than overcomers. It's what the word says, that we can become more than overcomers in Yahshua. More than overcomers. So it's not too late, but I will say time is running out. Like I say, I see it every day. And our people, some people who are really walking and holding fast to this word and walking in these times are aware of it. But I can tell you, just by the look on the faces of those people who oppose God, who were created to oppose God, and have had their way in this world because it was given over to them, those wicked ones, they see it too.